So you didn't get your grades, but you want to break into banking, and you're concerned that your chances have gone down the drain. It's not the end of the world, I can tell you that. However, it might take a bit longer, but with perseverance, consistency, and the right approach, you'll be fine. What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about what to do if you just did like your A-levels or international baccalaureate and you didn't get your grades, and that has resulted in not being at the uni that you wanted to get into, and subsequently making you believe that you can't break into banking. We're going to discuss what you can do, what's the best approach to take. You can skip around, the timestamps are in the video description below. So first and foremost, it's not the end of the world. I personally didn't get into my first choice university. I actually messed up my first year of my A-levels, so I retook them, so I wasted a year. That year changed my life. It was a wake-up call that I needed. So don't be too disheartened. Also think of the long game. Like, your uni is only 3 years. Your career is 30, 40 years. It's a very, very long time. So those 3 years at uni are important, or 4 years if you're in the US, but they're not the be all and end all. It's all about being strategic with your time throughout university. So let's say you wanted to get 3 A's or an AAB, because those are the grades that top unis and 3 A stars, for example, top unis want. But let's say you didn't get those grades, and so you end up at your insurance choice, you end up at a uni that you're not too keen on, but that's the best you can do. So what should you do? First and foremost, relax. It's not the end of the world. Grades are one thing, university brand is one thing, and I've said this so often, but the most important thing is building your CV, building your cover letter with relevant experience. If you can't get relevant experience, irrelevant experience, regardless of those two, you should always be doing extracurricular activities, whether it's setting up a YouTube channel, whether it's being on a society. Don't just be a member, take on a leadership position. All these small things, because when it comes to writing your resume or your CV, 5% will say your grades and your education, and the rest of it will be work experience. So your mission for the next 2, 3, 4 years is to build as much experience as you can in order to get into an interview, because once you get to uni, everyone's grades are irrelevant. Everyone's there. It's a level playing field. Once you get into the world of work, everyone's university is irrelevant. It's a level playing field. So you need to focus on your experience, get that, focus on that as much as you can. Honestly, there's not much to it. You want to prioritize spring weeks, any mentoring programs. Like what I did in uni in my first year, I had a mentor from BlackRock, and I just asked him, you know what, can I come spend a week at your offices? And he said sure, and I shadowed him. He was in portfolio management, and then like one thing leads to another. I got to spend time with the sales team, the investing team. Half of success is turning up, putting yourself in front of opportunity, and then the rest, you never know where it takes you. So focus on your spring weeks. But if you're focusing on spring weeks, you need to have a strong CV and cover letter. Those need to be on par with the best applicants, because you're going to be competing with students from Oxford, Cambridge, LSE, Harvard, all of that, and they're going to have very good looking CVs. They're going to have experience, all of that. But you need to show the interviewer, even though you're not at those unis, you've done this, this, this. You're interested in financial markets or banking because of this, this, this. You need to wow them. Sometimes it's more impressive seeing a CV from a lower ranked uni, but someone that's got impressive experience, compared to someone that's at a top tier uni. Because if you're at a top tier uni, it's a given. If you don't have top tier experience, people look at you like, oh, you're at that uni and don't have much experience. It can work against them. So there's two sides to every coin, right? Don't dwell too much on your grades. That's done. What's done is done. It's done and dusted. Next thing you need to focus on is your approach and your strategy at university. I personally would prioritize securing offers for experience and internships more than my exams. Obviously, you want to go uni and get a first class degree. Focus on that. Do enough to get that. Don't overdo it, because once you hit 70%, anything else doesn't count. You get a first or a 2-1 or below. That's it. Don't waste extra effort. Work smart, obviously, not too hard. And then focus on strategizing how you're going to secure spring weeks. If you get spring weeks, it unlocks the door to internships. That's why spring weeks are so important. Most spring interns convert their offers to summer internships. Now, when I say get spring weeks, if you are just going to apply to front office roles, the hardest areas to get into and nothing else, it's a big risk. You have to spread your eggs in different baskets. If you want to do that, great. But don't complain when you don't receive any offers and then you're left in your second year with no experience whatsoever. My approach was, all right, I'm not at the best uni in the world. It's a good uni, but not the best uni. My focus is to secure anything that I could put on my CV. So I applied front office and back office. Secured some back office spring weeks, and then I converted those into summer internships for my second year. So I was safe. So you got to be strategic like that. So I was safe. I had that safety net, and you got to think like that as well. But then I was more ambitious with my applications, and so that's what you're going to need to do. secure your insurance, secure your safety net for your first and second year, and then start applying to more front office roles, being ambitious with your applications, because then you have nothing to lose. So you've got to be a bit smart about it. Too many students are out there chasing what everyone else wants to get into, chasing what looks, you know, really cool and what they think is the best role, or what they believe that people will look at them and think, oh, you're amazing because you got that job. Forget all that. Forget all of that BS. Just focus on your main job is get out of uni and have a job offer secured. It's all a stepping stone. It's all a stepping stone. One thing leads to another. If you get to second year, you don't have nothing, same applies. You need to try and find some experience, whether it's at a big bank or a small bank, big firm, small firm, niche, boutique, in the industry, outside of the industry. Get something on your CV, and then obviously, hopefully you want to be in your final year and you don't want to be in a position where you need to apply for jobs. You want to have secured your offer as a result of converting your summer internship. If you do that, great. If you're in your final year and you haven't got an offer yet, two options. Consider doing a master's to buy yourself time so you can apply to internships again, or apply to graduate schemes, and it's tougher. You need a strong CV, cover letter, but it's tougher because most roles go to summer interns. Trying to think what else. Don't get caught up on, I'm not applying to anywhere else other than investment banks because I want to work in this industry. There's so many other industries that you can apply to. Like, banking used to be amazing back in the day, but it's slowly on the decline. Like, more and more students are applying to startups, fintech companies, consulting, like all these other industries, and there's nothing wrong with that. Banking is a great platform and you should apply, but don't just pigeonhole yourself. Apply to other industries as well, because it goes back to that same concept, that one concept: diversify. Spread your eggs, your applications across different baskets. I think it comes back to beggars can't be choosers. If you're in a position where you didn't get the best grades, you're not at the best uni, you have to be realistic. I'm not saying cancel your ambitions and aspirations. I'm saying apply for that stuff, but be tactical, hedge yourself, make sure you have a safety net. That's how I think. That's how my risk-taking approach is, and it tends to be a better approach, I think, rather than just putting all your eggs in the high-risk category and then hoping for the best. Hopefully that will be useful for you. And then there's the common advice like leverage LinkedIn, use Simply, all that stuff will be linked below. Mentoring, pick people's brains, talk to people in the industry, do as much research as you can, and just find out about the industry. Careers are long. Like, most people get into banking and leave after a few years. So if you don't get in, it's not the end of the world. Most people don't get into banking in the first few years after they graduate, but they get in later on. So it's a long game. Don't worry, don't stress if you don't get in immediately. And if you don't get your grades, it's not the end of the world. I did AS, I got a D, E, U. Obviously I retook them and improved them, but yeah, we all die in the end. I read this in a book the other day. It's true, like, we're all gonna die. It's a Steve Jobs quote. When you think about the fact that we're all gonna die, nothing is that deep. So yeah, don't stress. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.